Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Basically we got the AMX CDA 105 in the store-ish kind of like thing now. Because it's not actually in the store, it's part of a loot crate that you can get while playing. And in the loot crate there's like a lot of tanks and everything, and you have to buy, you get the crate for free, but you have to buy the keys to open it. Which is honestly something that I really dislike, but hey, that's just the way it is. And basically just like this, it is a little tier 8 French TD thing, and I quite like it. It is a pretty mobile thing. It's slight. It doesn't have that much armor, but it doesn't have no armor either. And basically I'm making big mistakes this game, but yeah, it pretty much doesn't matter. We were going to lose this definitely, because things are not really going as intended this game. I will talk over the stats. I did not know that there would be a camper there, so I have to be careful with that. And then I want to shoot him, and then the Leo just rams me from behind and just like, what the hell? But okay. Anyway, stats wise, I'm comparing it to the Kanonen because I feel that playstyle wise and tank wise they're fairly-ish alike. So we have the DPM of the 105 is 2305, where for the Kanonen it's 2433. The pen is 260, where the Kanonen has 255. Both have an alpha of 350. The rate of fire is 6.59 for the 105, where it is 6.95 for the Kanonen, which means that the reload for the for the 105 is 9.11, where it is 8.63 for the Kanonen. Both have a caliber of 105, and the shell velocity of the 105 is 1525, where for the Kanonen it is 1478. Sorry. The aim time is 1.63 for both. The dispersion is 0.321 for the CDA. I should probably call it CDA rather than 105, because they're both 105, but yeah. The French one has a dispersion of 0.326, where it is 0.307 for the Kanonen. The move rotation, the dispersion on the move rotating turret and everything is slightly better on the Kanonen as well. Both have 8 degrees gun depression, but the CDA has 20 degrees gun elevation, where the Kanonen has 15 degrees. The aiming arc is 10 degrees for the CDA, where it is 15 degrees for the Kanonen. And basically it can go 50 kilometers forwards, where the Kanonen can go 55, and they both go 20 kilometers backwards. The engine power, however, is 720 for the CDA, where it is 500 for the Kanonen, so that's a bit of a difference there. Which means that the power to weight ratio is 25.15 for the CDA and 19.47 for the Kanonen. The effective terrain, the effective HP per ton is 25.2 to 22.9 and 15.7 versus 23.3, 19.5 and 13 for the Kanonen. The camo rating is 38% while standing still, 23% while moving, where it is 41 for the Kanonen while standing still and 25 while moving. And after shooting, it is 8% while standing still for the CDA, where it is 9% for the Kanonen, and for both it is 5% after shooting. Now, the view range is 240 for the CDA, it's 250 for the Kanonen. Both have an HP of 1150. The CDA weighs 28.63 ton, and the Kanonen weighs 25.68 ton. Basically, of course, there's no turret armor, so I'm gonna skip that bit, but there's the hull armor, which is 90 in the front, 50 on the sides, and 40 at the back for the CDA. And it is 75 for the Kanonen in the front, 30 on the sides and 15 at the rear. So it is a slightly less OP tank than, well, the Kanonen, you can't really call it OP in any way, can you? But yeah, it has a little bit more armor than the Kanonen. Overall, it does feel very alike. It's less long, but playstyle wise, I play this pretty much like I did the Kanonen, and that goes very well and very wrong at the same time. But it goes the same way when I'm actually driving the Kanonen, so there's that as well. Overall, like I said, I kind of like it. It is a cheeky little tank, it packs a wallop and everything, and it can work really nicely. This is one of those games where it just sort of like works out for me, and I'm get a lot of luck is involved, of course, as well, because that's something to keep in mind. Because the thing is that this is a tank that when it gets shot at, it can still be penned quite easily. It's not meant to be like a properly armored kind of vehicle. And it doesn't play like that either. However, when you're looking at it from a Kanonen perspective, it's kind of like you don't really need this tank if you have the Kanonen. Because they are similar. They're different, but they're similar. So there is that as well. Along with the fact that it comes in loot boxes and you get parts for it. You don't actually get like the whole tank. You get parts for it. And that for me is another reason to not try for this tank right now. I will happily get it later when it's coming to the store for gold. Or maybe even like in its own crates. But not like this. Not when it's like part of a loot box and you can get it in parts. And you have to open quite a few crates to get it, and then it's gambling, so there's such a big chance that you're not going to get what you actually want. The gun, by the way, can be a little bit derp. I've had several battles where I'm like, pretty much the tank is like in my whole aiming circle, and for some reason I still miss. Like these shots also, they don't actually hit the target that I want to shoot. And when people have your sight, they can very easily kill you quite fast, so that's something to keep in mind as well. But yeah, like I said, it is a tank that I want for my collection. It is a tank that I enjoy driving, and it's fun to drive. But it is in crates, and it's in crates where you have to like spend quite a bit to probably get it, and there's no chance of you actually getting it. You have to play in order to get the loot boxes. Then you have to pay for the keys. I'm definitely not going to be doing that. I might try the keys for gold because there's generally always some like that in the store. But other than that, just no. So keep that in mind as well. It is still gambling that you're doing, and it is still gambling that will either get you this tank. But the thing is that it's just so much more chance that you will not get the tank that you want, that it's not going to work out the way that you want. And that's mainly my biggest issue with gambling. Like, there's no steady amount where like, oh, if you spend that amount of money, you will actually just get it and everything. That's not the case with this tank, so keep that in mind as well, because there's just, it's key crates, and that's, ugh, yes. Anyhow, that's basically my review for the tank. Tank is great, the way it's being delivered to the game, not so great. That's my little review for the tank. Hope you guys enjoyed it and sort of like enjoyed my little rant, and I'll be seeing you guys the next time again. Bye bye!